Yo, what is going on, everyone? It is Memory here, and we are here, everyone, ladies and gentlemen, for the final episode of Food Wars Season 3, or Season 4. I guess it doesn't really matter what you call it. It's the second core of Season 3. That's what we've been rolling with. It's going to be weird because when another season does get announced, because I know it's going to be announced at some point, are people going to call it season 4? Well, there's going to be people calling it season 4, probably like me, but then there will be people calling it probably season 5 because of how people are calling this season 4. But that's kind of just, that's besides the point. We're here for the last episode. I think we would have known already if they, announced a new season at the end of this episode, and I haven't saw or heard any news, so they didn't announce anything at the end of this, which is kind of unfortunate because they have done that in the past with Food Wars, but uh, like I said before, it's only a matter of time until we get another season announced. It'll probably be, not too long after this concludes. Although I know, well, I don't really know much about the staff working on Food Wars and what else they're working on. But JC's staff, just the animation studio in general, does work on quite a bit. So yeah, I think they have 2 shows. They usually have 2 or 3 shows a season. I mean, they have Index coming in the fall as well. So they're usually pretty busy. But I mean, with how many seasons of Food Wars we've had and just how popular it is, there's going to be another season at some point. So yeah. I'm watching it off of. This is from Crunchyroll, but I have the episode downloaded. So that's where I'm watching it. But we're still in the first bout, of course. I think they'll probably wrap up the first bout maybe with. They might not even wrap up the first bout with this episode because Nene and Souma still, we still have that going on, and then we have Ishiki 1, and then Tosuke and the Shoko girl. I think that's what her name is, Shoko. They still, we still have to see the outcome of that match. So, that still has to happen too. So I say the majority of this episode they probably spend it on Soma and Nene because this is the biggest match of the first bout, if you'd like to say. And I think Soma will come out on top. It's just how are we gonna see it play out is the thing. So, and this is a reaction, by the way. If you're here trying to watch the full episode off of YouTube, you've come to the wrong place. It's a reaction. It's in the title. I say this all the time. I don't know why people still come to YouTube to try and find full anime episodes. I don't mean to be rude about it, but I sound like a broken record now because I've said this so many times. So, you're going to want to look somewhere else. So yeah, we're going to get into this final episode, everyone, of the 3rd season. See what we got. Episode 24, we're at the very beginning, 0 seconds. And we're going to get started here in 3, 2, 1, play. 24. But he has a plan. Oh, really? Jeez. Wow. When they put it that way, that is pretty crazy. Ooh. Yeah, that's like me with Food Wars. That looks good. That's me all the time. So this is how it feels. They kind of get a feeling of how us watching it feel. It's the same way. He's gonna be fine. He's gonna be fine. Yeah. He has to, and he's gonna, cause he's Soma. He's Soma, right? And this is only the first bout. There's no way Soma loses in the first bout. So, I mean, but he's going up against probably the toughest opponents, some of the toughest opponents he's had, to this point. I mean, Nene, and even going further into this, Team Shokugeki. I mean, he's facing members of the Elite 10. So it's just like, and we also know that, his matchup against the first seed is going to come way later, apparently, according to you guys, with how long this kind of Team Shokugeki is. And even this Central and Team Shokugeki kind of arc thing in general, it's taken up so much of the story. So this is without a doubt the biggest kind of matchups I should say we're going to have, bigger than anything we've had before. With the just what's on the line here, who's involved, like yeah. Last time we see and hear this opening, see the visuals, hear the vocals. Well, I'm gonna probably listen to the song outside of the show, but the basis for strength. Nene's first one done, and damn, look at that. I haven't ate lunch yet, man. Well, I had a little bit of something, but it doesn't really count. Ooh, dude, look at it. Yeah, it does. It does. Sexy, that's a way to put it. I like the way he put that. And I did not expect them to go into Ishuki and Nene's past. Like I didn't really expect that. So I like also that kind of dynamic to these two characters too, that we just learned recently. Obsessed. I like that. And that takes a lot. And she started doing this and was at this at a very young age. To have that mentality and have that to be that way at such a young age. That's impressive. Much respect. Start slurping. There they go. Damn, you just see him coming out of the like whatever. Is that a cup or something? Yeah. Tempura. That combination does sound like just so fucking good though. Oh, or did they just eat it that fast? They ate it that quick. Oh, well, good. She has more. Rindo, man. More, more, more. Give him more. Who keeps stealing my soba? I love how they just like she knew exactly which book to pull out of there. Like it was like the second one from the top is. Look, it's a mermaid. Look how she's coming out of this thing. And I want to taste, dude. I want to taste. Yeah, that's like everything with this. They all make it sound so easy, but it has to be difficult. Like if I try to do any of this, I'd be screwed. I would not. It would be a disaster. I already know. That obsession, that dedication. Man, she has so much on deck. Jeez. Look how it's just popping in and out of his chopsticks. Yo, the Soba that leapt through time. I love the reference, yo. The girl who leapt through time. Love that fucking movie. If you have not watched that movie, you have to watch that movie, by the way. It's a Hosoda film, too. So you already know. You already know. And that's the thing that Food Wars does, too. They make a lot of references to other shows. They've done like JoJo. They've done a lot, a lot of other. And Soma. So here's Soma's. Whoo. Something I've sunk a lot of time into, the same as her. I feel, these judges are like getting blessed because they just go from your one dish to the next. It's like everyone backing them, the rebels backing them. Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's see. The look isn't everything. It's about digging in and taking that bite, taking those bites. There they go. Bullshit. Get out of here. Get out of here. Yo. Damn. Has him like sweating. They'll break it down. They'll break it down for us. Yep. Look how it's coming into his mouth, yo. Oh my god. Nice. Did not know that. Did not know that. Dude, I took one like half a year cooking class in high school, and this teaches me more than I think I ever learned in there, like legit. Oh, so that explains like the darker kind of texture too, apparently. See, if I was just going off look, I would say mayonnaise, but look isn't everything, Like I've learned that with food. You guys have probably saw something that looks really good, and maybe it didn't taste as good as it looked. That's the thing with food. But then there's times where I've just saw food, I'm just like, that looks awful, and then I won't even try it. But there's also been times where, stuff has looked nasty, and I try it, and it's actually good. Instant yakisoba. And they're cheap. And they're pretty cheap, aren't they? Okay. I mean, it still looks good, but if I was just going off a look, I would say Nene's, but then again, that's kind of dumb to go off look. Oh yeah, the classic saying, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Yep, yep. You can almost say that for a lot of things. And the foodgasms aren't as extreme as I remember them. They go into it like way differently now. Like the fragrance of soap between you and me. It's probably tough as hell for him. First bout, third match. Nene versus Soma. It's gonna be Soma. Soma. Come on. What are they doing? There's enough left for another. Are they gonna? Oh, I see what. Oh, for her to taste her own? That's different. That's kind of different. What? Really? Is she gonna try his now? Yeah, she's gonna try both of them in the different. Oh, damn. They should have them do this for all of them. Try their own and then try. But some people would probably be like, bullshit it. They'd probably lie. You could just tell from her reaction, her expression, which one she liked more. Mmm. I see. I see. Someone's just like, no coincidence, man. And Ishiki as well. Like, damn. So because of he wasn't, getting the aroma that he instantly made that decision to for stir fry to stir fry it. Damn. I don't think she did, unlike Soma. She's stuck to, what she knows. Sometimes alternatives are better. Sometimes one way isn't always the best way. Damn. Yep. Yep, the basis for his strength. Where the title of the damn episode comes from. It's Soma. It's Soma. It's been decided. And she's still going. Nene's still having more of his dish. That is great. And yep, he won. Damn. See, those are the kind of food gasms I miss. I need a lot more of those. We do get them, but so we still have the last match of this bout though. And Soma won. Yep. Let's go. We knew he was gonna win, but they kind of did throw a little curveball in there with like the consensus and all that, and having her try her own dish and then try Soma's dish and compare. Like they don't. I don't think they've ever done that, have they? Especially when it came down to the final judging. One more match in the first bout, Tosuke and Shoko. The true ace in the hole is what they're calling her? That is true. That is true. Oh. Okay, he won. Damn, look at the state she was left in. Yo, wait, so we didn't even go into that match really at all. Wow. So I guess I figured that would be the one they spent the least amount of time on, but I was hoping we'd at least get a little something from it. But so a complete sweep in the first bout. The ending theme music kicks up. Ah, yeah. So they're gonna say, "Yep, there's." Screw you, Eisen. Screw you. So they finish out the first season with, or not? They finish out this season with the first bout. I had my words mixed up there. That's a good spot to leave off at. After which both teams will resume the fight with the new time. And the second bout is where we'll pick up the next season with, which will get announced at some point. It's only a matter of time. Yeah. Ooh, he's ticked. He's ticked. Yeah, exactly. That's what I was saying. As we go more and more through these bouts, it's going to get so much tougher. It's going to get... I want to see Erina's reaction. I want to see how she's right now. I want to see her comments on the... Yeah, yeah, yeah. There's the blush, yo. Okay, she's fucking in love with this man. Yo. I mean, it's probably been confirmed like way earlier, like just the way she kind of looks at him and the way she gets with him. But oh man, Eh, yeah. I don't even remember if these are a part of the ending visuals. I don't think they were, but I love it. Yeah, this. Yeah, I remember this. Yo, yeah. I totally forgot about that. That episode was so great. That was one of the best food gasms with the chicks hatching from the eggs with Arena and all that. Hell yeah. So yeah, they're just reflashing some of the. I feel like that's a good spot to leave off at though. Oh, we got a little something. Ooh, Sukasa. The foreshadow here. They're gonna meet so further down the line, but you can't win against me with that dish. In the next round? The next round? Do they face in the second bout? No, there's no way. I figured it'd be something for later on. Getting more of this Foxtail song than we usually get. I think this is their last song actually as a band because I think they're splitting up or going on hiatus or something like that. I think this is the last song they. It's kind of upsetting because I love Foxtails. I love Foxtails. Yeah, I love it. I love it, Soma. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Onward to the top. Thank you for boarding the train. Look at Subaru. Look at all of them on that train, man. That was pretty. That was a good way. That was a nice way to leave off, I would say. We knew you guys, especially, obviously I know there's more to the manga of Food Wars, but like, yeah, we know there's still a lot more they can adapt. So it's only a matter of time until this gets another season. Just with this how popular this series is, and where they left off, and even the where they leave it off, especially with Tsukasa and Soma there. Like, yeah, I don't know if they actually face off in the next round. Maybe they do. I don't know, but that's definitely something. That's been something we've been looking forward to since we saw them go at it in the who was there? It was like Arena, Megumi. They all saw the two of them. Um, if I remember correctly, yeah. So there was that, but also a lot of these other matches that we're gonna have in this Team Shokugeki. Like it's like they, like Joichiro said, these matchups are only going to get more challenging as we go forward with the bouts. So, and oh man, Rindo, I cannot wait to see Rindo in action, like in this Team Shokugeki. See, there's so much more to still look forward to. That's for sure. In Arena as well, like she's gonna be. Oh, dude, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. For the next season, whenever it gets announced, whatever it comes, it's gonna happen at some point. I was hoping they'd announce it at the end of the season, but they didn't. But they do leave it obviously to a point where we finish off with the first bout. I think that's a good spot to leave it off with, and then going into the next season, we'll pick up with the second bout. So next season will be the best arc, really. I mean, I figured as we get through more of these bouts that it would just keep getting better and better, and just with a lot of the matchups we could potentially have and are going to have. Yeah, Tosuke destroyed the Shoko girl. Like they didn't even show it. It must have been a massacre. You see the look on her face too. She was just like looked like she was dead. But yeah, that was a nice way to leave it off. That was a nice way to leave it off for sure. So yeah, that about does it, man, for the third season of Food Wars until The next season. I forget what season. I think at the end of season 2, didn't they have the announcement for season 3? Or it was either shortly after season 2 concluded. That's all I. That's all I remember. So hopefully shortly after this, it's concluded. So shortly after this, we'll get an announcement for another season. It's gonna happen at some point, but Shokugeki no Erina next. Yo, if they have even more focus on Erina, because they had a good focus on her with this, with this part in the series. Um, but even seeing her more so in the Shokugekis, yeah, in these matchups, that's gonna be phenomenal. And even like Rindo, and I'm really looking forward to Rindo, man. Is well, like, yo. They left off around chapter 230, and yeah, you guys were telling me that this whole Team Shokugeki thing just finished in the manga like 2 or 3 weeks ago. You know, so that tells you how long it is. It's pretty long. It's pretty long. Like, you guys were telling me that this whole Central and Team Shokugeki part takes up like about half of the manga at this point, which that's insane. That's really insane. So, damn. So the manga's currently at 268. Okay. And this left off at 230? Oh, really? So that leaves like 38 chapters, which is still that's a good amount. Like, I don't know what the exact pacing was for this season, but usually most anime you would say typically 2 to 3 chapters an episode. So, and who knows like how many more chapters we're going to have, right? Until another season is in production, or until another season gets announced. So so there's that. But from what I've been told, this adaptation's been fair. It's been like in terms of the content they're following. I'm not really talking in terms of like the animation, because the animation, they don't really spice it up too much. They don't really like add too much to it. Like I've heard, like I don't read the manga for Food Wars, but I've heard that they kind of just stick panel to panel. They don't really add anything to it. They just we get a lot of the still shots, like, which it doesn't really matter too much to me with a series like Food Wars, because it's a cooking show, so that it's not really, it doesn't take the enjoyment out of it for me, really. It's not like it's not like the worst animation, right? It's not the worst I've ever seen, but compared to like the first season, as we have got further into Food Wars, I don't know if you guys have noticed, but it has dropped off a bit, like in terms of the animation and all that, but it's not that big of a deal. It's not that big of a deal. You guys are saying next season will be the best, so I mean I figured it just keeps getting better and better, like I said before, with the Team Shokugeki. So yeah, that's about it. Until next time, until more Food Wars, until we get another season announcement. I'll be there. So I'm not gonna go to the manga because I'd imagine it's going to happen really soon, that it's in production or whatever, that it's been greenlit. So yeah, that's about it, everyone. Thank you all for joining me for this last episode of Food Wars Season 3. Thank you for joining me for all my reactions to Food Wars. It's been fun. It's been fun for this season, 100%, and where we're going, where we're heading to the top. Hell yeah, it's only gonna get better. So yeah, that's about it, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Much love, peace, and see you in the next one.